Good morning, student. I, Mrs. S. Ojha, I am going to teach you computer. I hope in previous class, whatever I have given to you, you have learned all the topics very carefully. I am going to teach you first chapter, object-oriented programming, some another topics from this chapter, that are system development life cycle, system development methodology, importance of system development, object oriented programming, and so many others. So let's watch all the class very carefully.
Let's start the remaining part of chapter first. The chapter name is Object Oriented Programming. Today I am going to take the first topic, System Development. Before system development or software development, we should know what is software. Software is a solution of any manual problem. Means if you have required to solve any manual problem, then we use software. So software development is a dynamic and always undergoing process. But tools and methods are different used in particular software. Today, a vast number of tools and methodologies are available for system development. System development refers to all activities that go into producing system analysis, modeling, designing, testing, implementation a new software application or program. So this is the life cycle of system development. Children, see the picture. Analyzing the requirements means, first of all, if we want to make a software, we should analyze or collect the data about particular organization. Then specification or modeling. We should arrange all the data in a proper way in a form of flowchart, algorithm, and so many things. After that, designing or architecture of a software. Designing means we just draw the interface by any languages like Java or VB.NET. IDE environment means integrated development environment. And fourth step is implementation. Implementation means we give the coding for particular interface, then system will work with the coding. Then fifth step is testing or debugging. Testing means whatever software we have prepared, that is working properly or not. This is the stage of testing or debugging. Sixth step is training and support. Training and support means if the software is working, all the other languages, all the support, all the internet based apps, that is known as training and support. Then seventh step is maintenance. Maintenance means if you are using software regularly, your software is corrupt, then it will maintain and rebuild properly. That is maintenance. Because if you are continuously using, sometimes software will be corrupt. So regularly, time to time, maintain the software. This is known as software development process or software development life cycle. In object-oriented system development methodology, object-oriented system development offers a different model from the traditional software development approach. Means there's two kinds of approach: traditional approach and object-oriented system development. In traditional approach, we just focus only the functionality of the software, but in modern approach, we focus on the object-oriented programming. Object-oriented methodology is a system development approach encouraging and facilitating reuse of software component. With this methodology, computer system can be developed on a exponent basis, which enables effective reuse of existing components and facilitates the sharing of its components by other systems. Means if we prepare software by using OOPS language, then we can reuse that software anytime, anywhere, with the support of any languages. That is object-oriented system development methodology. Next topic is object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is focused on some pillars like object, class, inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, and message passing. So this is based on these pillars. These are main component of object-oriented programming language. Let's see OOPS, object-oriented programming system. These are 6 pillars: object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. See the picture of object orientation programming system. Okay, next, principle of object oriented programming systems. These are also called principle: object, class, inheritance, First is object. What is object? Object is an instance of class. Means object is a copy of class. Class is a template or blueprint. Means class cannot occupy space in memory. Class is a concept and object is a phenomena. Means object occupies space in memory, but class is not occupy space in memory. Object has three things: state, behavior, identity. But see the picture of characteristic of object. Like state. State means attributes, characteristic or variable. Behavior means function, method or behavior. Identity means unique ID. So every object have three things. State represent the data of object. Behavior represent of an object such as deposit, withdrawal. Identify is used to internally by the JVM to identify each object uniquely. Means identity refers to uniquely identify each object by the JVM. Second one is class. What is class in Java? A class is a group of objects which have common properties. Class have only two things: behavior and state. It does not have identity. Class in Java can contain fields, methods, constructor, block, nested class and interface class. See the another picture of object and class. Car is a class. See, and there are different kinds of object of class car, like Carmi, Bench, Sonata and so on. Next topic is message passing with Java. In computer system, there are many sockets. By these cables and sockets, message or data passing one location to another location. That is called message passing. Message passing is also going in one object to another object, like object A and object B. Sending object, receiving object, message passing. Next is data abstraction. Data abstraction is method of hiding implementation details and showing only the functionality. Means like television, you have interface, that is TV button and remote, and user use that television by this interface. User not to need to know about how the TV is functioning inside, how the circuit is designed. So that is done by the only interface. So every software company encrypt the data or code, means hide from the user. When the programmer make any software, then that make exe copy means executive file, that is run on any soft application or operating system, but no one can see the code and no one can implement the code. That is benefit of data abstraction. So complexity is reduced by the data abstraction. There is a abstract and interface. In abstract, that is hide, because display, then curly braces open and close, this is the definition. And interface, this is the user part. Okay, user can give the any data from the display method to abstract, but user cannot access the data directly. Next topic is importance of object orientation. First is higher level of abstraction. The object orientation approach support abstraction at the higher level, since object encapsulate data and methods. Encapsulation is used for hiding the background or implemented data from the user. So this provide higher level of abstraction. Second is seamless transition among different phases, means that program support to any other languages or any other application. If you make program with the Java, then it can run any other languages or any other devices, because Java make embedded device. Like if you make program, your program run on the mobile phone as well as washing machine as well as computer system, microwave oven, so many ways, and these are very helpful to develop the such kind of devices, to operate such kind of devices. Next is encouragement of good programming practice. Students, in olden time there was first generation language, that is machine language, in form of 0 and 1. That was very difficult for programming practice. But in this time, object oriented make programming practice very easy, so anyone can learn easily OOPS languages and develop the program. Next is promotion of reusability. There is inheritance feature that provide the reusability, means you make one time program and call many time, not again you have to make a program. Encapsulation in Java. What is encapsulation? See, wrapping up data and method into a single unit, that unit known as class, and this process known as encapsulation. See the definition. Encapsulation in Java is a process of wrapping code and data together into a single unit. For example, capsule which is mixed for several medicine. We can create a fully encapsulated class in Java by making all the data members of the class private. Now we can use setter and getter methods to set and get the data in it. Okay, so we can set and get. We can fix the data and we can acquire the data from the other software also. That is done by the encapsulation, other user also. See the picture? Encapsulation in Java. This is capsule. Capsule in term of Java we can say this capsule as a class. Class contain only two things: method, variable, or behavior and state. Variable is state and method is behavior. Okay children, and top of the top right side a picture icon is Java logo, team symbol here. Next is class hierarchies and inheritance. Class hierarchies shows just by the opposite tree. See, root, stem, and there are so many branches. Root stem means parent class, and then there so many branches S shows the child class. Next, what is class hierarchy? Java accomplishes this task by arranging of all its classes in a family tree, like ordering, called a class hierarchy. A class hierarchy is often represented as an upside down tree, means root of the tree at the top. The more general kinds of object are higher up the tree, and the more specific kinds of object are below them in the hierarchy. So, a child object defined in the tree is a more specific kind of object than its parent or ancestor in the tree. Okay children, let's see example. Like your grandfather, your father, then you. There is 3 generations. That is known as class hierarchy. Next topic is Java inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance is acquiring the property from base class into derived class is known as inheritance. See the picture, like cat and dog both are class, and they acquiring the property from the animal class, means they are acquiring property from the animal class. That is shows inheritance. What is definition of inheritance? In a single line is a relationship, extend keyword used, code reusability, super and subclass, that is also known as base class, derived class, parent class, child class. Inheritance with access modifier, no multiple inheritance, but multiple inheritance using in Java. Typecasting is also upcasting, downcasting, overriding method, calling super class methods, instance of instruction, field and inheritance, constructors and inheritance, nested classes and inheritance, abstract classes and inheritance. These are some terms which is used in inheritance. In next chapter, okay, I will teach you all the topics in detail. But in 9th class, in your board examination, only 2 marks definition will come. So you should know what is inheritance with a small diagram. That is sufficient. Okay, children? Next topic is dynamic inheritance. Dynamic inheritance allow object to change and evolve over the time since base. Class provide properties and attributes for object changing base classes. Change the properties and attributes of object. So there's 2 kinds of inheritance, static and dynamic. So static means predefined, dynamic means runtime. Okay, children? So happen at the compile time is a static, happen at the runtime is dynamic. Actual object is not used, actual object is used. Also known as early binding, also known as late binding. Speed is high, speed is low because it working in runtime. Method overloading, method overriding. Inheritance is divided by the functionality basis, static and dynamic. Okay, children? Next, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance means if the child acquire property from father and mother, that is known as multiple inheritance. Okay? Multiple inheritance is a feature of some object-oriented computer programming language in which an object or class can inherit characteristic and feature from more than one parent object or parent class. Okay, children? See the picture. Child having property from father and mother both. That is multiple inheritance. Next topic is polymorphism. Polymorphism means one name many form. The common example is like milk. By the milk we can make curd, cheese, sweets and so many other things. So form is one, milk, but it convert working in different kinds. Like cheese is different and curd is different and sweet is different. So basic meaning is polymorphism is one name many form. Poly means many and morph means form. Means object that can take on or assume many different forms. See how it is working. Like we want to create area method and just take a program to calculate area of different shape, like area of circle, area of triangle, area of rectangle, circle, but all three having the function area, but all function have a different definitions. Okay, like area circle, what is the formula of to calculate area? Pi r square. Okay, second one is also different formula, and third one is also different formula. So all the function having same name, area, 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 but definitions are different. Okay, so this is the polymorphism. object, relationship and association. Association is using relationship between two or more objects in which objects have their own lifetime and there is no owner. So this shows the scope of object, at what time object will live or where the object is accessible, that is shows by the and association is using relationship. Objects that are part of association relationship can be created and destroyed independently. So where it is created it will be accessible, but if this is created in particular module, then outside of the module cannot be accessed. Okay, so where it is created it can access only that part of program. And access modifier is also applied for the creation of object, that shows the accessibility and destroyed situations of object. Next topic is consumer producer association. Consumer means we are and you are. Producer means who produce. This is the relationship of programmer and user. It is a special form of association like client server or use relationship. It is viewed as one-way interaction, like item to give the server for printing, like in railways we are going to ticket booking, so there is a we are consumer and railway server is producer. So request and response is exchange. Okay, but if the request is give only, this is the one-way interaction, but if the response is also generated, there is a two-way interaction. See next topic, aggregation and object containment. Like a car is an object, but it has three parts: engine, seat, wheel. Okay, this is the aggregation and containment. This is known as aggregation, where an attribute can be an object itself. For instance, a car object is an aggregation of engine, seat, wheel and other objects. All the objects except the most basic ones are composed of and may contain other objects. For example, a spreadsheet is an object composed of cells, and cells are objects that may contain text, mathematical formulas, video and so forth. Means object is again divided in sub attributes. So that is aggregation and object containment. Next and last topic is persistence of object. Approaches to make transient objects persistence include establishing, means persistence by class, persistence by creation, persistence by marking, persistence by reachability. What is persistence by class? Declare all the objects of a class to be persistent. Simple but inflexible. Okay, this is main point. Second, creation. Extend the syntax for creating object to specify that an object is persistent. Means declaring an object is also very easy. Persistent by marking an object that is to persist beyond program's execution is marked as persistent before program termination. Means if your program will be terminate, your program will be closed, then previously object mark you, give some indication, some means it will generate some error, your program is going to close, or any problem in your program. That is marking. Persistent by marking. Persistent by reachability. Declare persistent object. Objects are persistent if they are referred to directly or indirectly from a root object. Easier for programmer, simple to garbage collection used. Two parts is this. Okay, easier to means it divide in several modules, so that is very easy for the programmer. There is a automatic garbage collector which collect unwanted data from the memory. That is very useful feature of Java or object. Okay children, but in C++ sometime if we do programming, then garbage is also show on the screen, but Java garbage collector automatically collect the garbage, all the unwanted digit, all the unwanted data, so that is very useful. I hope you will do practice all the topics again, and in next class I will give some question answer to you. You have to do all the question answer from the lesson first in your fair register. Make a thick register for computer, and I will also give some practice question from the taught class. So let's watch video again and do practice, learn more things. Good day students.